Namaskara, the South Indian is here. It's that time of the year, rather of the season. The elections are knocking at our doors, and every party worth its salt and its ideology shall do whatever it takes to be more loyal than the king. Today, our focus is on Karnataka to begin with, and then we shall speak about superstar Rajnikant. But first up, it's about Karnataka. What began on Sunday has continued in Keragudu village in Karnataka's Mandya district. Initially, it was mainly the BJP, the opposition, but later members of its alliance partner, the rather newly minted Hindus, I must say, the JDS also joined the protests against the replacing of a Hanuman flag with the national flag from a 108-foot tall flagpole. What's the story? Well, the story goes that permission was given in this village in Mandya to fly either the tricolour or the Karnataka state flag, but went up in the air was an obviously religious flag with Hanuman's image, also accompanied by slogans of Jai Shri Ram. By now, the ground was well prepped to implode, and when officials replaced the saffron flag with the tricolour, the villages became very defiant and were joined in by leaders and workers, both from the BJP and the JDS. Let's up that sound so that we know the kind of commotion that this has created. The opposition labelled the Siddaramaiah government anti-Hindu while resorting to minority appeasement.
सरकार का पैसे के वजह से ध्वजस्तंभ नहीं लगाया था, जनता ने दिया था, भक्ति भाव से दिया था। वो लोग हनुमान ध्वज फहराने के लिए दिया था, हनुमान ध्वज फहराने के लिए दिया था। जनता की इच्छा की वजह से हनुमान ध्वज लगाना चाहिए। करना मतलब भगवा ध्वज निकालना है क्या? हनुमान ध्वज निकालना है क्या? हनुमान ध्वज निकाल करके सनातन धर्म को अपमान किया, हिंदू विरोधी नीति को प्रकट किया। वो लोग उस नीति के खिलाफ, हिंदू विरोधी कांग्रेस नीति के खिलाफ हम संघर्ष करेंगे।
ಮಂಡ್ಯದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಹನುಮ ಧ್ವಜವನ್ನ ಸುಮಾರು 108 ಅಡಿ ಹನುಮ ಧ್ವಜವನ್ನ ಗ್ರಾಮ ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿಯ ಅನುಮೋದನೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ, ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್, ಗ್ರಾಮ ಪಂಚಾಯಿತಿಯ ಅನುಮೋದನೆಯೊಂದಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಧ್ವಜವನ್ನ ಹಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅವರು ಏಕಾಏಕಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಆ ಧ್ವಜವನ್ನ 108 ಅಡಿ ಹನುಮಂತನ ಧ್ವಜವನ್ನ, ಹನುಮಂತರ ಬಾವುಟವನ್ನ ಕಿತ್ತಾಕಿ ಆ ಧ್ವಜಸ್ತಂಭವನ್ನ ಧ್ವಂಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಅಹಿತಕರ ಘಟನೆಗಳಾಗದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಶಾಂತಿ ಭಂಗ ತರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರಿದ್ರು ಯಾರಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರೇ ಹೇಳಿದಂಥ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಂಡ್ಯ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಜನ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಪ್ರಜೆಗೆ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಆದರೂ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನನ್ನ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ತಿಳುವಳಿಕೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಇವರು ಯಾರಿಂದೂ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್ ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಜನತೆಗೆ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಆದಾಗ ಅವರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಹೊರತು ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹಚ್ಚ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ.
Obviously, no political gain for Mr. HDK. He just went there so that his presence brings about some peace. I mean, irony died, 1,000 deaths. Now, the Siddaramaiah government meanwhile defended its stand by calling BJP a desperate party just to win elections, trying to see to it that this incident snowballs into something else, and also called the JDS opportunists.
ಒತ್ತಾಯ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅನುಮತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಂತ ಅನುಮತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು? ರೀ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಧ್ವಜ ಆರಿಸಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಧ್ವಜ ಆರಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಮುಚ್ಚುಳಿಕೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಟ್ಟವ್ರೆ ಇವರು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಮುಚ್ಚುಳಿಕೆ ಬರ್ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಯಾವುದೇ ಧರ್ಮದ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಬಾವುಟ ಆರಿಸಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್. ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಯಾಕೆ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು? ಮುಚ್ಚಳಿಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಅದನ್ನು ರಾಜಕೀಯಗೊಳಿಸಿ ಅದರ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಲಾಭ ಪಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಶಾಂತಿಯನ್ನು ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಇದೆ.
All of them have lost their deposits in BJP. Okay, that is why they have embraced with JDS. Now they wanted to have a political foothold in Mandya. They are just creating confusion in the minds of the public. Nothing will happen. Mandya is a very secular people. People of Mandya are very tolerant, very secular. They will not look at it. We have a national structure. We have a constitution. We have a national history. It has been run by Maharajas. How Maharajas took out those area, I think it will go up. This is purely politics, and they wanted to destabilize the peace of the state.
Meanwhile, even as several politicians are very busy giving sound bites, the fallout of this incident so far, Keragudu Gram Panchayat PDO Jeevan BM has been suspended on the charges of violating government rules. Now, close on heels of Mandya comes Dharwad, where few families are quietly leaving the village of Dharwad fearing visits by Hindu activists. The history of this allegedly lies in a controversial picture on social media posted by a member of the minority community. Apparently, Hindu activists have allegedly threatened the particular youth in the village of accompanying them to Ayodhya. It is Chalo Ayodhya. This despite the presence of police. There are reports of a place of worship which is being destroyed in Dharwad. You know what? I refuse to buy into this rather simplistic argument that such and such region in Karnataka is a laboratory for Hindutva. It always happens there. Even if it does, what is the government doing in trying to crush it? Will Siddaramaiah and his ministers stand up, or else they can actually say goodbye to the tall claims in bringing communal peace in Karnataka? Let's debate. Joining me on this debate is Satya Prakash, spokesperson for the KPCC, GS Prashant, spokesperson for the BJP, Anusha Ravi Sood, editor-in-chief of South First, and we shall wait for other guests. Namaskara to all of you. Very good to see all of you. Dr. Baswaraj Itnal is also with us, senior journalist and political analyst. Anusha, I want to start with you. Welcome to the debate. I'm so happy to have you. It's good to have women around.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, Anusha, the point is that first up is this government, when it took power in May, it said that this one thing that it shall do is to get rid of sectarian strife and communal rioting. Now, what one has seen is that the horrific alleged gang rape in Haveri, which has communal overtones to it, whatever way it could be, it needn't be A versus B, it could be A versus A plus. So, there is communal tension. Then we saw Mandya, which is actually exploded, imploded, whatever you want to call it. And what a terrible thing it is for people of Dharwad to be leaving the village because they are being threatened. Do you think that somewhere the Siddaramaiah government has been caught napping, Anusha?
I do not think it was just in one place. I think in multiple levels the government has been caught napping. Now, once you are in government, there's no point in crying victim. There's no point in playing the victim card to say, you know, the opposition parties are conspiring against the government. This is an open playbook. This isn't the first time this is happening in Karnataka. Every time there is an election around the corner, there is absolute, unapologetic and undoubted polarization. So the Congress government cannot claim that it didn't see this coming from somewhere. Should this happen? Absolutely not. But does this happen? Definitely yes. As far as the question of addressing communal tensions is concerned, not just the Haveri incident. I think Haveri incident, as horrific as it was, there were other instances of, say, assault by a group of people on interfaith couples. I refuse to call it moral policing or whatever it is that people would like to tag it as. It is assault. And there have been multiple cases. The only difference, when you ask me, in handling of these cases under this new government is that the instances of such assaults on interfaith couples have not reduced. clearly. But at least you don't have anybody from the government coming across and giving a justification saying this kind of assault on interfaith couple is a reaction to an action. We've had a chief minister in the past who said so-called moral policing is reaction to action. For whenever there's an action, there's a reaction.
Yes.
So to that extent, at least action is being taken in those instances. But as far as cracking down on communal flare-ups is concerned, perhaps the first thing the government should have ideally done to instill confidence in people that they are going to move away from the communal rhetoric or that they are going to put an end
but
to
that's
it
missing.
was perhaps
That's missing.
was perhaps just remove this ridiculous government order banning hijab in government schools.
Yeah.
The government has still not done that. There's a lot of talk about it,
Right.
but the government hasn't done it.
Yeah. So let me go to, it's a good point now. Let me go to Satyaprakash ji. Satyaprakash ji, there was one expected your government, the Congress government to be different. Like Anusha very well said it, that at least they are not speaking about action, reaction. But the point is, I just don't understand, instead of, looking for a solution, or rather, telling people that they are all safe, to play politics by saying, oh, this is all politics, they always do this, this is what their thing is, like we heard DKS speak, makes little sense to me. I mean, your government, when people voted for your government, one of the things that people voted for your government, apart from 40% Sarkar Asar, was also that you will keep the Kannadigas safe, and there you seem to be failing, Satyaprakash ji.
Sudha, hi Sudha, you need
Hi.
to understand that when communal forces are hell-bent in lighting fires in the society, when the Sangh, RSS, BJP, and now their so-called new partner JDS has joined them in lighting fires in the society, they will keep on lighting fires, and we, the seculars, will keep on dousing those fires, and we have a job in hand. And our job is difficult, I understand. When we are dousing the fire this side, another fire has come up in Dharwad, as you rightly said.
Yes.
And our job is to continuously douse the fires, and it is a difficult job. It is
It's
not
not
as
your
easy
job, it's
a
your
job as
duty.
lighting fires.
It's not your job, it's your duty. There is a difference.
Absolutely.
You are the government,
Absolutely.
sir.
I use the word job. If you say duty, you can just say, okay, I will tell you the duty. That's it.
Yes.
Okay, but it is a difficult duty as well. Okay. And now let us see what happened in Keregodu, Mandya. Who started it? We need to understand that this flag post, the permission was given not to hoist Hanuman, Bhagwa,
Right.
or any other flag. Permission was given to hoist national flag or flag of Kannada, flag of Karnataka.
Right.
Who started it, you tell me? Who lighted the fire? It
But
was
then
the
what was the
BJP,
PDO
the
doing,
Sangh,
sir?
the Bajrang
What were
Dal.
the local authorities doing, sir? Napping? The
I will tell you-
police, the
I will tell you,
DM?
that
Yeah,
is-
go on,
that-
sir. Go on. Go on, please.
That is exactly why the PDO has been suspended. There are nearly 58,000 villages, 35 to 40,000 villages. So we cannot keep an eye on everyone. That is why
No,
we
that's
have put a
not, that's
PDO
no
there.
explanation. No. At the cost of saving
You
lives.
should allow me to explain.
You've said
You
it. No,
cannot
what is there to
explain
explain? Please go ahead.
You should. Who should put the Congress point of view? You tell me. You or I? I should
Sir,
put it,
please
no
don't.
problem. Okay.
Sir, never wish that on me. Go on, sir. Say it.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
See, that is the PDO's job to inform the Tahsildar or the Assistant Commissioner or the Deputy Commissioner that there is something amiss. The PDO is the custodian of the village panchayat. If these people, the communals, have violated the conditions laid down, the conditions was very clear that you should not put any religious flag. In spite of that, Sudhaji, they put the flag on 22nd according to reports. Still,
I have to take a break. I'll come back, Satyaprakash. Just a minute. Prashant, coming back to you after the break, because you've been speaking and I want you to get the chance to speak. Ladies and gents, I'll be back in a jiffy. We're discussing Karnataka. Don't go away.
तो जब हम करेंगे तो पता लग ही जाएगा। सलमान खान का करेंगे, मारेंगे यहीं जोधपुर में मारेंगे तो पता लग जाएगा।
This is someone who is sitting inside our jails and is still very obviously and openly running, and possibly the largest organized criminal operation in the country.
स्टूडेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ऑफ पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी में सोपू का एक्टिंग प्रेसिडेंट टाइप भी रहा है.
He was a troublemaker, getting into fights with people, not coming to the class.
As on date, it appears that Lawrence gang is the most important, the prominent gang. Gangs here in Punjab, they are intimidated.
Today he is India's most dangerous gangster, and India's presence are apparently no bar to how Bishnoi runs India's largest criminal empire.
News is now content. Just stream it. Download the world's first news OTT, News9 Plus, ahead of the curve.
All right, the South Indian is here and we're discussing Karnataka. Mandya and Dharwad, Karnataka explodes after communal strife. Let me now go to the BJP spokesperson, GS Prashant. Prashant, you were speaking even as Mr. Satya Prakash was trying to finish about how it's a very difficult duty on their part, which I completely refuse to accept. You are the government, you better get your act together. Yes, Prashant, go on.
See, Sudhaji, first thing, one thing is very clear from the Congress point of view. They have always been anti-Hindu. Because the same Congress government who is talking about suspending officials and PDOs saying they have a difficult duty to do, Congress has always stood for appeasement and corruption. There is no two things about it because the country knows it. What happened to the same PDO and officials and Congress government when people in Kolar, when the officials had put up the Aurangzeb cutout without any permission? The police nor the officials even refused to even remove it. They were for it. And no person, in fact, Congress leaders supported saying, what's the harm? Private people have put it up. So therefore, you had the clock tower in Kolar, which always had a flag running of whom? Not national flag, not Karnataka flag, not a flag which is depicting Hindu identity. It was depicting a particular community which has ISIS links.
Okay.
PFI supporters.
Prashant, you're a young Prashant, you're a young man, educated, very well spoken. So it doesn't. So what? Let me finish. No, I'm saying nice things.
So no, let me complete.
Wait a minute. I want to ask you. When there was an order, sir, that after the Hanuman flag, there's an order that you put up either the tricolor or the Kannada flag. Why create ruckus? Because you're going against an order which is almost like a governmental order. Why do you want to create this ruckus time and again? Is because you're all educated young people. I do not know why would you do that. There are other ways of getting the attention of the people. Is it because have you taken?
It is not.
Have you taken?
It is not about getting the attention of people.
Then
we have to stand. We have to stand up for the sentiments of crores of Hindus here.
Oh, there is one Hindu. There is one Hindu on this panel. I am one too, although I don't identify myself as one. No, wait a minute, Dr. Baswa. No, you don't scream. Please don't scream, Prashant.
You have to give me
Provided you lower your voice. Provided you lower your voice. Smile at me. Let's smile. Smile.
Sudhaji, give me my
smile
time.
And then you smile first.
Madam,
no shouting.
Madam,
no blood pressure.
Give me my
smile.
Time. Give me my time. Give
smile.
me my time. Let me answer.
Then I won't unless you cool down. You got to cool down, Prashant. I don't do shows like this. Dr. Baswaraj Itnal, let Prashant cool down and I will go back to him. Dr. Itnal, it seems like very clearly that because of the elections, because all this while one had, Karnataka had got this name, Dakshina Karnataka is Hindutva laboratory, so on and so forth. The point is, I refuse to believe that. As a journalist, one has seen riots and riots. I mean, one knows about the Sikh riots, which happened when, of course, I was very young. But the point is, if the administration wants, they can stop all this nonsense. It always happens in cahoots with the administration. What is going on in Karnataka, Dr. Itnal?
Sudha, the role of administration comes, the need for administration to intervene arises after the event. It's always a post the event, not before that. But before that, whose responsibility is? It is a responsibility of the political party, which claims to be all-inclusive, which claims to be, non-discriminatory. So what that party has been doing, namely the Congress, because this Dharwad incident or Mandya incident, it's not It is not just overnight thing. These events are a consequence of a consistent narrative building of BJP. Now the problem with Congress is that they fail to understand, they fail to see their own failure in countering that narrative. They always believed that they will react to events, but they never believed in building a positive counter narrative. For example, in Dharwad, like you said, you're right, because it's not this communal events are not limited only to coastal Karnataka, though it is quite intensive there. But Hubli Dharwad is known for Idgah issue. So that Prahlad Joshi comes from that struggle. Prahlad Joshi was in the forefront. Prahlad Joshi, Anant Kumar, Jagdish Shettar, all these people were in the forefront. Just around Babri Masjid, demolition happened. Around that time, only this Idgah Maidan issue, erupted. Now, what was the argument there? I'm just giving an example how Congress fails in narrative. During that Idgah Maidan issue, that Idgah grounds is the property of municipal corporation. But it is leased to Anjuman Islam there. So there they have a prayer wall. They offer prayers on Eid.
Right.
So there, these people wanted to hoist national flag.
Right.
Who? The people on whose office there is no national flag then. The very people who had no national flag on their RSS office in Nagpur, they were struggling. They were, creating communal tension there, saying that national flag should be hoisted on Idgah. Why not on temple? Why can't you hoist tricolor on temples?
All right. So do you think, Dr. Itnal, do you think that the Siddaramaiah government is kind of failing now? It's kind of not able to, like you said, present a counter narrative, or why a narrative? Just take action against all these communal forces. Just tell them that, look, this far no further, or else I shove you into jail, something like that. So
because of consistent failure of Congress, they have lost miserably in terms of political power because they failed in providing counter narrative, and whatever action they took post the event has always been counterproductive, for them. Now there is the election around the corner. Now they are very fidgety. If I take very strong action against Hindutva elements, then this narrative that Congress is anti-Hindu will only be buttressed, and again the voters will desert us. And that too, they are very sensitive about Mandya. In Mandya, BJP could never imagine or even dream to go there. But now, Sumalata had been a proxy BJP candidate. Now it is because of JDS and BJP coalition, they are quite hopeful of South Karnataka now, especially Old Mysore region, which BJP was not very strong. Now the same thing in North Karnataka, because they want to consolidate Lingayats there. That's why they get shuttered, and we don't know. It's just a matter of time before Saudi takes a decision. So this is BJP's classic electoral mathematics, in which they're really good, whereas Congress have not been able to fathom neither the formula nor the equation nor even the understand the problem in real terms.
All right, Dr. Itnal. Anusha, I want to ask you that, like Dr. Itnal said, Congress has failed in a counter narrative. But what? It doesn't surprise me, but it shocks me that you see HDK right on top talking about how it's not for any political gain. He's here because he's HDK. Dr. Itnal is laughing. I wish I could laugh loudly with you. The kind of hypocrisy. I mean, the patriarch goes to Ayodhya and says Modi should be the Prime Minister. You and I can both take out all the bites, like what, 6 months ago, where they've all spoken, about against each other. What do you think is edged? Is it because there is complete helplessness on the part of the JDS that they are now trying to be Siamese twins of the BJP?
I do not think this is helplessness at all. This is if you ask any JDS cadre supporter, they'll say this is our fight for survival. But I do not think so. Like you pointed out 6 months ago during the election, if you take out sound bites of H.D. Kumaraswamy himself, let's not even go to Mr. Devegowda. He's attacked the BJP for being communal. But the election results, whether it is of 2018 or the recently held elections now in Karnataka in 2023, something that became very clear to the JDS is as long as the Congress is getting minority votes, the JDS is never going to get minority votes. It doesn't see any political leverage, any political advantage of catering to sentiments of minorities. They would rather then consider that it is of more interest for them to side with the BJP, which is offering them, which has offered them a partnership in this election. They are alliance partners at the end of it, and try and get the most they can out of it. For example, like Mr. Hidna was pointing out, South Karnataka is not known to be a polarized voting pattern, is not known to show a polarized voting pattern. But this issue, especially the in this Keragodu village of Mandya, it would be unfair to say that it started only on Sunday. It has started months ago. The BJP has slowly built support with Hindutva as its primary pitch, and the JDS sees that in Lok Sabha election, if polarization becomes the pole point of people to decide whether they want to vote for the BJP or for the Congress, the JDS will be left with nothing in its own bastion. The JDS has to pick a side, and it is picking the side of the BJP, which is its. So this is politics.
Yeah, and Anusha, the thing is that it's very clear that in the south, Karnataka is the only place, I guess, where the BJP has any chance of getting a little leg in, because in the rest, it's pretty much curtains for them. I think it's going to be very difficult for them. I'm going to take a break right now, ladies and gents. Another break, and then I go to Prashant so that he can say his piece. Thank you so much. Why is the state not looking at putting an embargo on that?
As a Telangana person, I will not accept.
How do ordinary folks deal with this?
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए, और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है Money9। आजादी पैसे की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
Bangalore traffic is an example of something that has gone wrong with our system.
We have more than 50 flyovers in Bangalore city. If flyover is a solution to traffic problem, Bangalore should not have traffic problem.
According to TomTom Traffic Index 2022, Bangalore is ranked as the second worst city in the world when it comes to traffic.
The speed limit at the ORR is 80 kilometers per hour, but our vehicle has only moved 10 kilometers per hour.
What Bangalore needs is a surgery, but what we have been offered repeatedly are band-aids.
Only on the world's first news OTT. News9 Plus, ahead of the curve.
Currently, the industry is facing a lot of challenges as far as demand is concerned. Basically, the US markets has slowed down because of high inflation.
So obviously, diamonds being a dream product, something which doesn't have a utility value or is seen as a luxury. So that obviously goes off your shopping list. That's the first item that will go off your shopping list, especially in recessionary trends.
That lab-grown diamonds are not mined, and they do away with the entire mining. So they save up on all the environmental damage that is associated with mining, and of course, the mining cost, which is why they're even more affordable.
People that is impacted by all these recessions are the artisans, are the people who work in this industry, right? But I think lab-grown diamond has allowed them to actually use their skills in the same product.
This and more streaming on world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.
Welcome back. The South Indian is here and we are discussing this. Mandya and Dharwad, Karnataka explodes after communal strife. Let me now get GS Prashant, spokesperson for the BJP, on the screen. Prashant, would you like to respond to any of the comments that were made before this, before the break? What Anusha was saying?
I will respond to everything provided you give me uninterrupted time without wanting me to smile or cry or whatever on camera. Give me my time, I will make my points one by one.
Don't shout, I am happy. Yeah, let's go, Prashant.
Okay, let me put it across in this way, the way we like it. Now, let's start one by one.
Okay.
When people are talking about appeasement politics, appeasement and corruption is in the DNA of Congress, where nothing happens and no story is done on that. Can you or the political analyst or the Congress spokesperson tell who gave permission to put up Aurangzeb cutouts in Kolar? Nobody. No, nothing happens there. Aurangzeb cutouts can you put up? Please go to Shivaji Nagar in Bangalore, an area I'm sure you're more familiar with. Please go and see what sort of flags are lying opposed to different buildings and see whether district administration taken any position. Nothing. You would not see any of that. When any attack takes place on Hindus or Hindu Karyakartas, you will not have this. In fact, the way the news item is started also saying of a minority. Why minority? Somebody who's 17% in a country, why don't you address them by the community they belong to? Why do you want to club them with actual minorities like Sikhs, Jains and Buddhists? Why don't you tell out their names? You don't even do that. Whereas, when it comes to using the word Hindu and again being Hindu activists and other things, it is with great glee that you people depict it. This is not the way it has to go on. And to say that district administration has a difficult job to do, let them resign. We will show them how to run the government. This is not the way to do it. Because take any position, BJP is always stood up for every community. Take any central scheme, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Jal Jeevan Mission, Kisan Samman Yojana, Ayushman Bharat, we have not discriminated based on religion. But whereas, in the state of Karnataka, whenever it comes to the existence of Hindus and Hindu faith and belief, that this particular thing takes a back seat and suddenly secularism comes to the fore. Where was secularism when PFI activists can demand anything? Madam, wait, let me complete. Where was the secularism when Asaduddin, OIC and Akbaruddin OIC can say,
we'll go to ancient history,
and we will show them what it is.
Let's just stick to this topic. I don't have so much time, Prashant. Please, Prashant. So, no, I've given you enough. This is unfair, sir. I've given you enough time. All I'm saying is that, let me also bring to your notice, sir, Prashant, sir, that when there was an allegation against Ishwarappa, it was, I think, a member of our community. Majority community, that contractor, So he said, allegedly, that he said, I'm ending my life. So, it's not about majority, minority. It's about lives of ordinary people and Kannadigas. Satyaprakash ji, clearly, very clearly a failure on the part of your government. It is not just about this, but also the kind of traps that you fall into, the soft Hindutva, as it were, for lack of any other phrase. We saw what happened during elections when the Bajrang Bali thing was there, and we saw all your leaders going and kind of bowing their heads to Anjaneya in Karnataka. So you are rather, you are also very good at this game. But today you are the government. You are a government, and you need to control it. Sorry.
You have a right to perception. You can perceive the way you want, but I will tell you what we are.
Say, please, what is being done right now, sir, for the viewers who are writing into us, what is being done in Mandya and what action is being taken in Dharwad, Mr. Prakash?
What we have done in Mandya, all the guys who acted against the government order, against their own, letter that they gave to the establishment that they are not going to hoist any other flag than the national flag or the Karnataka flag. We have taken all those guys who have taken law into their hands. We have gone and done the course correction. That is a good job that the Congress has done. Second, all the anti-social elements came onto the road and they damaged properties. They threw stones at student hostels in Mandya. Look at those hooligans. They have beaten up police. Lot of police's personnel are injured.
Yeah, so what is your government doing? You are actually
made sure all of them were arrested.
But you are saying exactly what I have said, that your government is napping. Your government needs to wake up. and smell the coffee, you know. So it is very important. You are very, now you honestly said what all has happened. I really appreciate that, sir, and I am sure the viewers do, but it only QED, your government is napping. Dr. Itnal, tell me something that, you know, in this whole Hindutva and this, we are not soft Hindutva, hard Hindutva, whatever it is, I just want to ask you something, that is it that the government is too busy trying to fulfill the 5 guarantees? Because Siddaramaiah, there was drought, there was guarantees, and most importantly, this government is speaking in several tongues. It's like, you know, several problems are besetting this particular government. Recently also about these boards and corporations, then whether he should be chief minister, who will be deputy chief minister, Rajanna. Do you think it's too mired in its own internal strifes for it to be able to control all this?
That is more than obvious, isn't it? Because Siddaramaiah faction and DK Shivkumar faction, you know, trying to compete in apportionment of power to themselves. And some people saying Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar will share power after 2.5 years or 2 years. Then somebody saying that Siddaramaiah is for full term. None other than his own son, Siddaramaiah's son, says that. And we don't have a consistent story coming out now between these two factions. Number one. Number two, these guarantees, they're very, very good schemes. No denying that fact. But the PR about it is really dismal. You know, of all these, why BJP is indulging again in communal politics now around the elections? Because they know that this guarantee, all developmental narrative will work, but that will work only if Congress says so. Yeah. Congress has, if Congress invests in that.
Okay.
But as long as BJP succeeds in getting Congress into a debate that they frame and in which Congress will lose, they won all right.
Anusha, last word to you, as I've completely run out of time. Tell me something, does the Congress need to up its game now? Because it's now getting into the usual traps, this particular being very, very familiar and something which will impact them for time, particularly during the elections, you know, the Lok Sabha elections. Do you think that there needs to be cosmetic surgery in the Congress? Government, I don't mean the party.
They absolutely need to if they intend to win considerable number of seats in the Lok Sabha election. See, it's a given that the BJP is unlikely to win the number of seats that it has won last election in Karnataka, which is 25 out of 28. Even the BJP's internal survey suggests that it may not be able to win as many seats despite being in an alliance with the JDS. Now, there are two ways to look at it. The Congress can sit back and say, anyway, we are going to win more than the number of seats that we won last time. That was 1, which is Bangalore rural. Or being a party in power and understanding how crucial a state that Karnataka is for the national level opposition alliance, the India bloc. The Congress in Karnataka could do better to enhance its chances of winning more number of seats for the opposition coalition. But because let's remember, once the India alliance has lost Bihar with Nitish Kumar and a considerable number of seats, where it can recover its fortunes is probably Karnataka, Telangana, Maharashtra to an extent. Tamil Nadu, of course, which means Karnataka features very prominently among the 3 southern states where the Kerala, let's consider Kerala as an entirely opposition bloc.
Story.
So there's no competition there. Yeah, there's no competition. The competition perhaps is in Karnataka and Telangana and a bit of Maharashtra if you go north. And if being in power in Karnataka, the Congress is not able to get its act together, then there's chances of it doing better anywhere else is quite slim. So if they intend to do better, they have to probably pick up their pace and make corrections.
This has been a very interesting conversation. Anusha, thank you so much for joining us. It was lovely to have you on the show. Dr. Itnal, as always, wonderful. Prashant, thank you very much. And I'm going to smile at you a lot of times now so that you and I become friends, Prashant. And thank you so much, Ms. Satya Prakash ji. Thank you so much for joining us on this show. And I'm coming back with another story, and it's about the superstar, the one and only Rajinikanth. Vanakkam, the South Indian is here with the second story, and the Vanakkam because it is proven that Tamil cinema and politics are very closely knit. You see all the great actors and those also who have become chief ministers. Karunanidhi, MGR, Jayalalitha, they first did politics and then they did cinema. Sometimes it can become a big problem because the fans somehow don't see you as an isolated entity that he's an actor. They will keep mixing politics with actor and it becomes a khichdi. You know what, even as the entire nation was immersed in the Pran Pratishtha ceremony on unveiling of Rama, Tamil Nadu was on a different tangent altogether among several celebrities. That day in Ayodhya, superstar Rajnikant also came to pay his obeisance to Lord Ram. But netizens in Tamil Nadu bitterly criticized Rajnikant for attending the event. The superstar faced backlash on social media after he defined the occasion as a historic event. Before you listen into Rajnikant, let me just show you what we are speaking about. This is a father-daughter duo, Rajnikant and Aishwarya. But the kernel of the story is about him being a particular type. Let's get back and let's hear to what the superstar is saying. Rajnikant, ladies and gentlemen.
बहुत बढ़िया था, ये ऐतिहासिक इवेंट है. सो इस दिन मैं इधर था वो मैं भाग्य हूँ, बहुत भाग्यशाली हूँ.
सर, प्रभु श्री राम की मूर्ति कैसी लगी? कितना खूबसूरत.
बहुत बढ़िया देखा मैंने.
दोबारा आएंगे सर?
डेफिनेटली हर साल आऊँगा.
थैंक यू सो मच.
One particular social media user from Chennai attacked Rajni, sharply saying how he always acted against the interest of the Tamil people. Well, after that incident, Rajnikant's daughter Aishwarya defended her father, or Appa as she calls him, at the audio launch of the film titled Lal Salam. She said how if the superstar was a Sanghi, he wouldn't have chosen to be a part of a film like Lal Salam. Aishwarya has actually directed the movie. She further said, and I am quoting her here, I generally stay away from social media, but my team often tells me what's happening and keeps showing some posts. I used to get very angry seeing them. We are human beings too. In recent times, many people call my father a Sanghi. I don't know what it meant. I then asked someone, what was the meaning of Sanghi? And they said people who support a particular political party are called Sanghi. Rajnikant is not a Sanghi. My father being called a Sanghi because he is inclined towards spiritual belief is not true. That's what Aishwarya said in defense of her father. It was then the turn of superstar to come to his daughter's defense, and he said how Aishwarya never used the word Sanghi in a bad sense.
சங்கிங்கிறது வந்து கெட்ட வார்த்தை அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஐஸ்வர்யா எங்கேயும் சொல்லலை. அப்பா வந்து ஆன்மீகவாதி, எல்லா மதங்களையும் விரும்புகிறவங்க. அவரை ஏன் இப்படி சொல்கிறாங்க அப்படிங்கிறது அவங்களுடைய பார்வை.
Look at how much footage this story has taken, but then we are talking about a superstar, that is Rajnikant, and of course his lovely daughter Aishwarya. Is it the strength of social media or the menace created by it that an actor is seen through the prism of his religious beliefs and not because he is a good actor? Seems like it. It's very sad times, but one needs to see Rajnikant for who he is and what he delivers on the screen. Who he worships, what he eats, what he thinks about is all his right. It's time for the South Indian to go, but you know what? A documentary is coming up and it's about the largest slum in Asia, Dharwad. There is a bit of a slugfest between Uddhav Thackeray and Gautam Adani over this issue. Interesting, isn't it? Don't miss it. Coming up in a minute, and with that, the South Indian says Namaskara, Vanakkam. Tomorrow is yet another day, a new day where I'll get you all kinds of stories so that you can come, join me, sit with me and do the show. 73-year-old Parvati Bai Jadhav has been staying at this hut in Dharavi for the last 50 years. Her family of 4 dreams of moving out of their 100 square feet home to a larger and concretized house once Asia's largest slum is redeveloped. But their dream may run into a number of roadblocks.